In this video, I'm going to bring you along on an epic journey to the Rocky Mountains to do some plein air painting. It's something I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and it was a dream come true to actually get to go and do it.
So cool you backpacked that up here to do that.
Thanks, man. I want to block in my colors and shapes using pretty much just pure paint. And I sort of have a goal to try to use round brushes on this painting and see what effects I can get. This is actually the biggest round brush I have, and I'm wishing right around now that I had a bigger one because I'm having to do a lot of work to block in these colors. I'm getting a little bit frustrated, and I'm not quite sure about my tonal values. Things just feel off. It's not quite looking right. And so I'm using my phone to take a picture of my scene and to take a picture of my painting and put them both in black and white so I can see the differences in the tonal values and compare them. And I think this is going to help me. So after looking at the photos and comparing the values, which I know that the camera can alter the values, but it's going to get me very close. I can see that the dark here on the mountain is a lot darker in the painting than it is out there. So I need to lighten that up. I think I need to lighten up the mountain in general. And then I need to lighten up this skyline here. The rest of it is pretty close in terms of tonal values. I need to darken up. Obviously, with atmospheric perspective, things that are closest to us are darker than things that are farther away. So I need to darken up these trees here, and then maybe lighten up this middle range here, and then dramatically lighten up the mountain. But I think I'm in the ballpark. So this was a trick that really helped me out, and I'm gonna go for it. I'm kind of wishing that I had been able to set up a little bit farther away from the trail. It seemed like this was a really popular trail for weekend hikers. So I heard a lot of funny conversation. I want these hills to recede, and so I'm trying to keep some of this purplish color for that experience of atmospheric perspective. And I'm using very close tonal values to delineate subdivisions of the forms of the land masses so that it's not just one uniform gray or purple, but that I'm kind of breaking up some of these larger planes and shapes into smaller shapes. As I'm doing this, I'm kind of realizing that the mountain is as light as the sky. And so if I want that mountain to pop, I need to actually darken the sky behind the mountain. So that's what I'm doing here. It's hard because I'm kind of staring into the light and everything just looks so bright. But I know that if I want there to be some dimensionality there, I need to actually darken the sky behind the mountain. I'm trying to be really suggestive with the textures and using the side of the brush, the tip of the brush to just represent clumps of trees. I'm not trying to get individual trees, but just kind of letting my eyes focus on groupings of trees that I see, and then use the side of the brush to emulate the generic shape of those groupings. I'm glad that those underlayers of paint don't have any medium or anything, because that's what's allowing me to paint these tree trunks and things over the top of it by adding a little bit of medium. In general, even though this is alla prima, it's still thin to thick. The skies out here are amazing. It's fun to capture all the little shapes and different hue shifts in the clouds. Really fun. So while I utilize that camera trick to try and get my tonal values correct, by the time I finished, I still was super frustrated with how my painting was looking. And as you saw, I went in and made quite a few corrections. I was getting really discouraged. And I think what I realized was that basically it's because of driving 10 hours and feeling like this is a whole experience, and I wanted my painting to be really good, you know? And so we stopped, I took a break, ate peanut butter sandwich, and kind of thought about like my goals. What do I want? And the fact of the matter is, like, getting to do this is a total dream come true. When I first had a dream of learning how to paint, it was literally this, that like someday I could be set up in a field somewhere painting a beautiful landscape like Van Gogh or Monet. And what I decided to do was, instead of focusing on the semantics of technique and trying to get everything perfect, I still thought about that, but what I decided to do was change my focus to enjoying this experience, because I basically have 24 hours here and then it's back home, back to work, back to the ordinary life. And this is kind of like a once in a lifetime. I hope it's not once in a lifetime, but every day is precious, you never know. And the fact that this is a tremendous, wonderful gift of just being here and seeing this landscape and getting to try to paint. And I think that mental switch made it 10,000 times better. And I just focused on, yes, trying to adjust my colors and trying to get my paints mixed right, but that wasn't the main focus. The main focus was enjoying this experience. And I mean, this is incredible. Look at this. This is what it's all about. If you get to spend some time in nature, you get to spend some time looking at something beautiful and painting it, that's the best gift there is.
Stuck?
Come down, buddy. There you go.